Hello and welcome to the first game of this tournament. Today I'll be playing Killer Plant Ghost Seed 1 against Masters of Evil Vikings Seed 32. So we'll start with the lower seed. Masters of Evil Vikings will play Raider on Sakura Garden and then end their turn. Killer Plant Ghosts have a very strong opening hand with Ghostly Arrival and Shady Deal already. So they will play Ghostly Arrival to play an extra minion and extra action. They can play Hunting with their regular minion play and Ghost with their extra minion play. Ghost can discard a card. And then with our extra action play, we play Shady Deal for 1 victory point. We also place a counter on Killer Katsu. Should have been at the start of the turn, but. And since we have no cards in our hand, we can play Cream Puff Man, and Cream Puff Man will have 3 power after we draw 2 cards. And Hunting will also have plus 3 power. And with that, we end our turn. We go back to Vikings, Masters of Evil, and they will play Absorbing Man on Helicarrier. And then at this point, I was thinking about destroying Ghost with gain the upper hand, but then I realized it might be better to save that card for destroying a Sprout or a Water Lily. So they will just end their turn without playing an action. Then we go back to Killer Plant Ghost, they place a counter on Killer Katsu, and they will just draw 2 cards to prepare for a bigger turn. So they both want to score Helicarrier. Master of Evil Vikings will play Black Mamba and Ball and Chain. This will make sure that they have enough power next turn to score Helicarrier, even if Cream Puff Man reduces in power. So Killer Plant Ghost plays a counter on Katsu, and he can already score Helicarrier actually. So they use Cream Puff Man to choose Ghostly Arrival from their discard pile and they discard a card to play it. They can play Hunting with their regular minion play, he gets plus 3. And then Spirit with their extra minion play. They can move the other Hunting with Helicarrier's ability. We have to move Hunting, not Spirit, because otherwise we won't have enough power to score the base. And with our extra action play, we can play Overgrowth. We are very certain that we are going to win Star Slap on our next turn because we have Killer Katsu ready. Then we score the base. And now Ghost Killer Plants are already in the lead. So Corral comes into play. So Masters of Evil Vikings can now use Ransack to steal Overgrowth, which is pretty good. And they can play Valkyrie to steal a Hunting from the discard pile from their opponent. Then they draw 2. Vikings probably have the better dueling actions, better than Plants or Ghosts, at least to protect Valkyrie. So Killer Plant Ghost plays a counter on Killer Katsu and play it. They will immediately destroy it to play a minion from the discard pile with 4 or less power. So that would be Hunting. Hunting is a power 3 minion once you play it, or actually before you play it. and it becomes a 6 if you have two or less cards in your hand, so it's a very good minion to play with Killer Katsu. Then we can use our action play to play Instagrow into Water Lily, and then we once again have no cards in our hand, so we can play Cream Puff Man for the last 5 power to score the base. So we are not going to draw cards with Killer Katsu, nor are we shuffling back minions into the deck. If we would draw cards, we couldn't play Cream Puff Man. So yeah, we score the base, and now there's even a bigger VP difference with 10 VP for Killer Plant Ghost against 5 VP for Masters of Evil Vikings. Now Field of Honor comes into play, and Masters of Evil Vikings will play Overgrowth on Field of Honor, and with gain the upper hand, they hope to maybe solo score it on their next turn. So they play Black Mamba there, draw two cards. So Killer Plant Ghosts don't even have a minion to play on Field of Honor. So at this point, I'm just thinking if I want to play Door to the Beyond already, but I decided to just draw two cards, so they won't get any victory points on Field of Honor. So I think Viking Masters of Evil were pretty lucky to have Ransack at the right time in their hand to steal Overgrowth. For now, they can just play Baron Zemo and Sakura Garden. They don't really want to play in action right now. I want to play Tribute after I use the Viking abilities to place a lot of cards on the top of my deck. So they will just score Field of Honor, and this pretty much brings them back into the game. So yeah, they end their turn. Killer Plant Ghost will place a counter on Killer Katsu, and they will use Ghost with Incorporeal to at least gain 2 victory points on Sakura Garden. With that, they also end their turn. So now, because Ghost is protected, Vikings Masters of Evil cannot destroy Ghost anymore with gain the upper hand. But they still want to score it because Killer Plant Ghost can put down a lot of power at once, so they should just score it now. They play Shield Maiden on another base. They reveal a minion of power 3 or less, so they draw it from their opponent's deck. And then they will use Berserk, place a card on top of their deck for 4 power actually. And then the last 3 power we can get with Raider's ability. And the reason I played Shield Maiden on another base is that I could use Convergence later to move her, maybe to start Slap. We have one card that moves, so it's good to spread out so you leave less power out on the bases you want to score. So yeah, the counter is not working well now, but we have 18 power and we score the base. And Baron Zemo also gives one extra VP. So Baron Zemo should go to the bottom of the deck. And then both players also draw a card with Sakura Garden. Drakkar comes into play, and now it's 12 against 12. Killer Katsu gets a counter. They will use Budding to search for a Spirit, because at this point they don't have any minions in their hand, and Spirit is a very good minion. Because he can also help a lot with summoning Green Buff Man. So Master of Evil Vikings now just want to score Star Slap, so they will destroy Spirit and play a Huskarl there. They will also place a Black Mamba at the bottom of their deck with Star Slap as ability. So if they would somehow shuffle their deck, she might come up again, and she is now a 6 because they have 12 victory points. And they have one gain the upper hand left for some more stalling later. So then it's Killer Plant Ghost again. They can play their Spirit, discard 2 cards to destroy the Huskarl. They also place a counter on their Titan, of course. And then they play Sleep Spores to slow down the opponent even more. Then Masters of Evil Vikings can try to do the same. This time they will play on Drakkar, so they can reveal the top card of their opponent's deck. So this is actually a minion of power 3 or less now, so they draw it. Um, so they play on Drakkar because there's no Sleep Spores there, and they play gain the upper hand to destroy the spirit as well. And now Killer Plant Ghost can place a counter on their Titan, and they have enough power to score the base and win the game. They play Ghostly Arrival into another Ghostly Arrival, so they have 1 action and 3 minion plays. They can play Venus Mantrap. They don't have to use Drakkar's ability. They won't use it because they don't want to draw more cards. They will use their action play to play Door to the Beyond for +2 power on each of their minions. Venus Mantrap is going to search the deck for their last copy of Ghost. And then Ghost can discard a card. Then they will play Kirikatsu and destroy it immediately. To play Hunting, of course. Hunting will become a 6, or actually a 8 because of Door to the Beyond. And then they can play Cream Puff Man as well. It's not even necessary, but we can do it. And then they score the base and win the game with 16 against 14 victory points, which is closer than I thought it would be. So yeah, Killer Plant goes will go to round 2, and they will have to play against Anansi Pearl and the Images or Superhero Astro Knight in the next round. So yeah, thanks for watching, and hopefully I see you again in the next game. Goodbye.